It's Speed, but without Keanu Reeves. We saw Speed 2, Cruise Control. So you know what that means. That's right, everybody. Welcome to Matinee Monday. Today we are talking about Speed 2, Cruise Control, a movie that no one wanted to do. Seriously, Keanu turned it down. Sandra Bullock turned it down and only agreed to do it because they said, well, finance hope floats. Please do the movie. And what happens is they make a movie that was supposed to be made for Keanu, but it doesn't make any sense because Jason Patric is there, but they didn't really rewrite the script well enough. And then when they did address the fact it isn't Keanu, they just kind of say, well, yeah, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. That's what we're invested in. Also, Willem Dafoe, amazing actor. He is great in this. He is chewing the scenery. I mean, he does more destruction in this movie than that boat does because that boat doesn't kill anyone. But Willem Dafoe is performing in an era where every bad guy needed like a weird quirk. And this one was about leeches. That's right. This guy had leeches. Anyway, Scott Aukerman joins us to talk about Speed 2, Cruise Control. Let's take a listen to a clip. And so the original premise is essentially that Keanu Reeves and her go on a boat trip and the boat is hijacked.
Well, not Keanu Reeves.
But I mean it was written that way.
I'm sorry.
It was written that way. He turned it down.
Yep.
After reading the script?
After reading the script, he said that...
Or just after reading the outline or something.
Yeah.
After hearing about the dream.
Well, he said he did not like the script and he was secure from the success of the first film. And he said that he did a movie called Chain Reaction. And he said he wasn't mentally or physically ready to star in another action film right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he went to go tour with Dogstar, his band, instead.
Of course.
But
we should do another show about Dogstar.
How did this
Music
get made?
edition.
How did this get made? Dogstar the band.
Basically, everyone turned down this movie. Sandra Bullock only agreed to be in this movie if they would finance her movie Hope Floats. And then William Dafoe was only in this movie after they went to like 10 other guys to be the bad guy, and so was Jason Patric. It went to Matthew McConaughey, who went on to do Contact instead, John Bon Jovi, who passed.
What?
Oh, that's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, I would love to have seen that. Patrick Muldoon and Christian Slater.
Who's Patrick Muldoon? Who is
he to turn down Speed?
Yeah.
Who even is Patrick Muldoon?
I'm going to find out right now.
Wait a second. Because you're saying people who are like legitimately A-list people, and then you said a name that I've literally never heard.
All right, I'm looking at it right now.
Patrick Muldoon is a pretend person.
He was in Starship Troopers.
I doubt it.
And Days of Our Lives.
He's a soap actor.
He's a soap actor.
Wow.
What?
A soap opera actor turned this down.
Yes.
And Jason Patrick.
That's how bad this script
And
is.
Jason Patrick was
Oh, he
like,
was on
I'm in.
Melrose Place. That was his
there
big.
we go.
That was
Okay.
his big thing.
That makes sense.
Yes. So then Jason Patric finally got it. No one wanted to do this movie.
And so he kind of steps into a role that was written for Keanu Reeves, where I think that if you look at the movie, Keanu Reeves would have been trying to ask Sandra Bullock to marry him. And
Yes.
he would have been invested in their relationship
Yes.
already.
Yeah.
Instead of, when we meet these two, he's about to ask her to marry him, and we are actively rooting against him
Yes.
because we like Keanu Reeves so much.
And also, they appear to have a horrible relationship built upon lies.
Built upon a lie.
Well, first of all, she's been dating him for 6 months, doesn't know about this thing, and then they're like, she doesn't know anything about him, and he's ready to ask her to marry him.
Yeah.
I mean, Jan de Bont said that he just rewrote the first scene to establish that was it. The movie is
Otherwise, it's unchanged.
It's unchanged.
Oh my god.
So it's so that speaks volumes of why this movie is so fucking weird.
I wonder if Jeff Bridges would. No, he's dead in the first one. Never mind. Spoiler. Sorry, spoiler.
So basically, they get on the boat. It's a fun cruise ship. You know it because you meet every character you're going to see for the rest of the movie immediately.
Especially Dante.
Dante.
Hi, my
photographer.
name's Dante. He says my name's Dante
Yes.
like
Okay.
800
his
times.
last line is, "Remember, it's Dante."
I gotta say, too,
He says that.
Yes.
Dante's taking pictures the whole time from beginning to end.
Oh, yes.
As
When
the
the
ship is going down, Dante's
As
taking
he
pictures.
is in
Those
the
are gonna be
process
worth a lot
of
of money.
dying,
Yes.
he is taking
He's
pictures.
taking pictures. And I thought for sure these pictures are going to come back and we're going to
like that-
reveal clues that way and understand.
It would be like
You
the
know,
sequence in
nope.
Hangover at the end. You
Yeah.
spin
Nope.
me right round, baby,
Maybe.
right round. And you see like all the golf clubs, William Dafoe.
I like to think that the guy playing Dante, like, that was his actor's process to hope that he would be remembered in the movie, which is not a bad idea if you're an
I
actor.
remembered his name.
Is to constantly say your character name. He's the only one.
Dante.
So they meet Dante, then they meet this weird guy who's kind of like a concierge. He's showing them to his their room.
like the bellhop kind
The
of guy?
bellhop
Is that
guy.
a comedian, Jeremy Hotz?
Maybe I don't have it in front of me right this second, but yeah. So he's like showing him, and then all of a sudden you meet the villain within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you've met every main character, and the villain is William Dafoe, who Jason Patrick immediately is like, this guy's up to something.
He knows exactly.
There is never a second on this enormous ship where they are not within 15 feet of Willem Dafoe.
No.
Like they are constantly.
And everyone else we've met.
There are hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands, on this cruise ship, and they are constantly surrounded by the same 8 people.
Well, it's also confusing because Willem Dafoe could have pulled all of this off and like not gone out during the daytime hours. Like he didn't have to do cruise time activities.
William Dafoe was out enjoying the ship at the bar. Like he didn't need to leave the room.
He wasn't
You're right.
scouting. He was just.
He just hung out with his leeches all afternoon.
Exactly.
Guys, the leeches.
The leeches. Okay.
The leeches. I kept being like, okay, the leeches are going to play a part in this, a bigger part in this, and they
Never came
just
back.
don't.
Well, I mean,
Except to be like, there's a tub full of leeches at one point, and I was like, that's some sexy
and once
shit.
Jason Patrick sees the leaches, he says, "This is a very sick man.
This is a very
very
sick
man."
puppy.
but you know what's so funny? It's like I feel like it was done. This movie was done in the era where the bad guys needed some quirk. They couldn't just be bad. So he was a bad guy who needed leeches that were sucking out the copper that he had been exposed to by working on computers.
It seems like as a villain, you need motivation. Like every great actor that they approach probably are like, what's my motivation?
Yeah.
So, unlike The Rock, which has Ed Harris as a villain where you're actually on his side because he's like going farther than you would, but you understand why. Like Willem Dafoe is just a fucking insane person who happens to have leeches.
Can somebody please explain what he wanted to do? Well, he's worked on the computers for this ship, so he knows everything about it. While he was working on the computers, he got sick.
And
they fired him.
Hence the leeches.
Okay, so they fired him
Which
because
which I don't think is legal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
he
he
could
got
have pursued a legal course.
He got
and won.
sick. Well, it was 1997. No one was suing their companies back then.
Law didn't exist.
Yeah, this is before 9/11. A lot of things changed. But he basically was a computer expert who got exposed to too much copper from working on computers.
Exposed to too much copper.
Yeah, which is exactly how computers work.
Which, by the way, is what pennies are made out of, which we carry around, exposing ourselves to constantly.
Well, that's how Abraham Lincoln died.
All right, that is all for Speed 2 Cruise Control. If you want to hear the full episode, it is right now live in our main feed, pulled from the vault. And make sure that you head on over to Unspooled, where we are also unpacking another big, dangerous weapon. I guess this is maybe a forced connection, but that is Top Gun, as we are talking about Top Gun this week on Unspooled. But if you like what you heard right here, tune in every Monday for a Monday matinee. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of How Did This Get Made. It's the only place on YouTube where you can have some How Did This Get Made clips. Enjoy it.